In a time long, long ago, the world was a shadow of its former glory. Humanity had strayed from the path, their hearts filled with violence and corruption. They had forgotten the God who created them, the one who gave them life. But amidst the noise and chaos, one man still listened. One man still walked with God. His name was Noah. The divine gaze fell upon the earth, and what it saw was a deep-seated wickedness, a world consumed by evil thoughts and deeds. It was then that a voice, like thunder and yet a whisper, broke the silence. It spoke to the one righteous man left. Noah, build an ark, a great boat, vast and strong, for I am bringing a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all that breathes. The evil in the world will be washed away, but you, your wife, your sons, and their wives, you will be saved. An incredible vision flashed before Noah's eyes. A design of impossible scale, a glowing blueprint for a vessel that would dwarf anything ever built, a ship destined to carry the future. Faced with this monumental task, Noah didn't argue. He didn't hesitate. He simply believed, and he obeyed. And so the work began. The forest echoed with the thud of axes and the rasp of saws. This was no ordinary construction project. It was an act of pure faith. We see Noah, his sons by his side, their movements sharp and determined. Each swing of the hammer is a strike against doubt. Each plank laid is a step towards salvation. Dust fills the air, mixing with the sweat of their labor as the massive wooden structure slowly takes shape. But their mission did not go unnoticed. The people from the surrounding lands gathered, their faces twisted with scorn and amusement. "Look at old Noah," they'd shout, pointing and laughing, building a giant boat in the middle of a dry field. "He's completely lost his mind." Another would chime in, "Hey Noah, expecting a big rain." Their jeers and insults were relentless, a constant storm of mockery. They tuned out the noise, the doubt, the ridicule. Day after day, week after week, year after year, they toiled. Their muscles ached, their hands were calloused, but their spirits were unwavering. Why? Because Noah's trust in God was stronger than the world's laughter. He was building not just a boat, but a testament to his faith. He knew the world saw a fool, but he also knew that God saw a faithful servant. Finally, after decades of tireless labor, the ark was complete. A colossal vessel resting silently on the dry earth, a monument to obedience. And just as the final piece of gopher wood was set in place, something truly miraculous began to happen. A low rumble started, not from the sky, but from the horizon. The ground itself seemed to vibrate. Then they appeared, out of the forests, from the plains, across the deserts. Animals of every kind began to arrive. A magical glow seemed to surround them as they walked in perfect pairs. The majestic lions, their roars echoing through the valley. Graceful giraffes, their long necks swaying. birds of every color swirling through the air like a living tornado, mighty elephants stomping forward, their steps shaking the ground. It was an impossible parade, a living tapestry of creation, all drawn to the ark. Noah's son, his eyes wide with pure anime-style wonder, turned to his father. Father, look, they're coming from everywhere, just as God said. A gentle, knowing smile touched Noah's lips as he watched the incredible procession. He placed a reassuring hand on his son's shoulder. God always keeps his promises, my son. The animals, calm and orderly, walked up the great ramp and into the safety of the ark, 2 by 2. With Noah, his family, and the animals all safely inside, Noah pulled the great door shut. A heavy, final thud sealed them away from the world outside. For 7 days they waited in the silent darkness, and then the sky began to rumble. A single giant raindrop fell, hitting the dusty ground with an audible splash, as if a tear from heaven. Then another and another. This was not a gentle shower. This was a deluge. The heavens opened up, unleashing a torrential downpour the world had never seen and would never see again. The very fountains of the great deep burst forth, and water surged from below as it poured from above. Thunder cracked and split the sky, and hurricane-force winds howled with terrifying fury. For 40 days and 40 nights, the storm raged without ceasing. But inside the ark, Noah and his family were safe. The massive vessel, once an object of ridicule, now became their salvation. It rose on the colossal waves, riding out the cataclysmic storm like an unsinkable fortress. They were tossed and turned on the violent waters, but they were protected, cradled in the hands of the God they had trusted. After the long, dark days of the storm passed, a new silence fell. The rain stopped, the winds calmed. The ark floated peacefully on a vast, endless ocean that covered the world. Many months went by. Finally, feeling the time was right, Noah opened a window and sent out a dove, its wings sparkling with a hopeful shimmer as it flew into the unknown. The first time it returned, having found no place to rest. 7 days later, he sent it out again. This time, as evening fell, the dove returned, and in its beak was a freshly plucked olive leaf. A close-up on Noah's face, tears welling in his eyes, reflecting the small green leaf, a symbol of new life. "Land," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. God has restored the earth. The wait was almost over. Eventually, the great ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. The waters had fully receded. With trembling anticipation, Noah opened the massive door, and a brilliant shaft of sunlight pierced the interior. He, his family, and all the animals stepped out onto dry, clean land. They took their first breaths of the fresh, new world. As they stood there, gazing at the reborn landscape, a breathtaking spectacle appeared. A bright, vibrant rainbow, glowing with divine light, stretched across the entire sky from horizon to horizon. Then the warm, powerful voice of God echoed, not with judgment, but with love. This rainbow is the sign of my promise, my covenant with you and with every living creature. Never again will a flood destroy the whole earth. As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease. And so, from Noah's family, the world began again, a new chapter for humanity, founded on hope, rooted in faith, and forever marked by a promise written in the sky. Thanks for watching our anime edition of Noah's Ark. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment with what you want to see next, and subscribe for more next-gen Bible stories. We'll see you in the next one.